There was once a time in my life where I remember feeling hopeless, depressed, broke, and just incredibly dissatisfied and miserable with the life that I had. And I remember in that same year, I made a decision. I made up my mind that I was going to completely change my mind. I was delusional. And yes, I know you've heard it 20 times before. Reinvent yourself. It is not all BS because I am living a testimony that it works. So if 2026 is the year where you want to completely change the life, where you want to reinvent yourself and show up as somebody different, here are 6 truths that helped me do it that I know will allow you to do the same. Let's get right into it. Number 1, before you actually attempt to do anything differently, you first have to become someone different. See, the thing is, action flows from identity. A lot of us know what we need to do, right? We don't have a knowledge problem. We literally have a doing problem. And because we just try to do things simply for the sake of doing them, the actions never last. You realize you start the gym for a little bit and then you quit. You start working on your business for a little bit, things get tough and you drop it, right? That's because you have not embraced the identity of a person. So you first have to become someone who's capable of doing what you need to do. You have to become someone who's capable of having an amazing, fruitful life. You have to become someone who's capable of being financially free. You need to first embody the identity that you want to embrace, right? And this is a concept that I learned from the book Atomic Habits. And what he explains is literally that habits form, okay, no, I'm not even going to go deep into that. But essentially, he goes really deep into this concept, and he even makes an example of a smoker, right? He says, someone who is trying to quit smoking and someone offers them a cigarette and they'll say, oh no, I'm trying to quit, most likely will default back to exactly where they were. Whereas someone who is offered a cigarette says, no, I am not a smoker. They're more firm in it. And if they genuinely believe they are not a smoker, they will definitely never smoke again. So same with you, right? Instead of trying to say, I'm trying to be healthy, or I am trying to become an entrepreneur, or I want to become an entrepreneur, actually embody that identity. And here's the thing about embodying identity is that it's all about faith, right? And I take it directly from the word of God in scripture where it says, faith comes through hearing, right? And it is so true, right? You believe something when you hear it and when you say it, right? When you profess it, when you confess it, that's when something really, it truly is instilled in you. So decide, what is it that you want to change about yourself in 2026? Who do you want to become in 2026? Maybe first it's easier to start with what you want. What do you want? What are you not happy with right now in your life? And then think to yourself, what kind of a person has this? Let's say you want to become a successful entrepreneur. That's what you want, right? You want to be a successful entrepreneur. You want to make money. You want to start a business. You want to have purpose. You want to feel fulfilled, right? Once you figured out that that's what you want, then ask yourself, what kind of person do I need to become in order to have those things, right? And you'll realize by studying people who are actually doing the same thing, look at what they do, look at how they behave, and then you start to listen, right? You start to listen to those kind of people, and then you start to speak like them, and then you start to confess, I am that. Like, I am an entrepreneur. I was calling myself an entrepreneur before I started a business, before I even knew exactly what it meant to be that. I just knew that that's who I wanted to be, and I started to call myself that all the time. Someone asks you, like, what do you do? Oh, I'm studying, but I'm an entrepreneur. I didn't even know what I was entrepreneuring at the time, but because I said it so much and I listened to entrepreneurs so much, that I generally started to believe that I was an entrepreneur. And because I believed I was an entrepreneur, it was inevitable that I would do things that entrepreneurs do, which is start a business. And I also heard a story of this girl who lost like literally so much weight by simply asking herself, what would a healthy person do, right? If you told yourself, I am a healthy person, then naturally you will need to behave like a healthy person. You'll know healthy people go to the gym. Healthy people mind what they eat. Healthy people stay away from certain things. Healthy people just carry themselves in a specific way that just naturally produces the results that healthy people have. And number 2 is you become what you consume. And I kind of hinted at this when I spoke about faith and how faith comes through hearing, right? The thing is that there is no such thing as real life. There's no such thing as reality. There's no such thing as, how can I explain it? There's no reality, only the one that you can see. Because the world is so broad, and especially now that we live in social media, it's almost as if everyone is stuck in their own little bubble created by the algorithm, right? I remember there was a phrase that was really popular back in the day, which is show me your friends, I'll show you your future. I don't think that's really relevant anymore. I think now it's show me your feed and I'll show you your future, because we spend more time scrolling on our phones. We spend more time looking at our screens than we actually do interacting with people. And although, yes, right, people do influence us and people do still affect us the same way, but it is still what we consume within. And by consuming, it is what you're listening to. By consuming, it's what you're seeing. By consuming, it's what you're even like the environment, like where you're being, like what is it that is influencing you? What is it that you keep hearing? And I'm telling you, like it always, whenever you hear something that naturally you don't agree with, right? It's easy to first not pay any attention to it. It's easy to say, oh no, I don't believe that. But when someone keeps saying something over and over again, it plants a seed. When you keep seeing something over and over again, it slowly starts to become normalized. And before you know it, you start to see yourself actually embody those actions. You start to see yourself actually like carry out those things. You literally become what you consume. And with that, if you can take control of what it is that you're consuming, then you can take control of who it is that you want to become. So this year, if you actually genuinely want to change who you are, then audit what it is that you're consuming. Audit your feed. Who are you following on social media? What are you scrolling at? Because here's the thing. I heard this and I was so mind blown by it that, the era of AI and TikTok is going to produce 2 types of people. It's going to produce people who are incredibly distracted, right? And it's also going to create people who are incredibly productive, because something like social media and the feed and TikTok is such a powerful tool for education. It's such a powerful tool to completely change yourself for the better, because here's the thing. Now you get to choose and you have the option to become friends with the most successful and intelligent, brilliant people in the world through your phone. You can be friends with Oprah. You can be influenced by Oprah. You can be influenced by who's this? Mark Zuckerberg, if you follow him enough, right? Like you can literally embrace the phrase of show me your friends and show you your future, and pick the best kind of people to become the people who influence who you become. And literally, the opposite is also true. You could spend all day watching trash reality show, and you could spend all day just, watching the funny memes and funny thingies. And there's nothing wrong with that. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. But the thing is, like, that you literally become what you consume. You just become a funny person who makes really nice jokes, or you become someone who's just, I don't know what you become chilled, you become all vibes, you are good for conversation, but so what? And then what? What value does that produce? Like, what do you bring to the table? Like, what does that say? Like, who are you, right? Especially if you don't even control the amount of time we have. Because these days, everybody's on social media 24/7. You have the ability to literally spend, and this is even the reality for a lot of people, you spend majority of your life scrolling. Even at work, you're scrolling. When you get home, you're scrolling. What is it that you're scrolling? Because that what you're scrolling is exactly that what you're becoming. So I advise you to take your time. Go and follow all the accounts that like are not contributing anything to you. Because I genuinely believe that like, if anything, you want to spend less time on your phone. And when you are on your phone, you want it to be building you up a little bit, right? And it's okay every once in a while to want to unwind, right? But like, you should understand social media and the internet as a tool, right? You should understand it as a source of education, a source of information, and an advertising thing. Use it as an asset. Do not allow it to distract you and destroy you. Be part of the people who actually create and innovate and make money. Because if you think about TikTok, it has made so many people just addicted to their phones, and they just on TikTok all day, they commenting all day. They just like, and then it has also made other people incredibly rich. It has made other people incredibly rich. Other people create on there every day. They've gained millions of followers and they make millions of rands just from the platform. They're creators. They are using it as a tool. And all the other people who are consuming are simply getting destroyed by it. I think I've dwelled on this point for long, but I need to say this. I remember during the time when I decided that, I was going to change my life, I really, really, really took the time to curate my algorithm. Like when I learned that you could actually control what the feed shows you by simply, following the right accounts and liking on the right things and commenting on the right things, you can engineer what it shows to you, right? I literally remember spent a whole week like intentionally unfollowing, intentionally liking and commenting on specific posts that like, was speaking to the things that I knew that I needed to hear. I re-engineered my feed. By the end of that week, every time I would go on social media to try and relax, I would literally come across Mel Roberts telling me to rocket ship out of bed, right? Like I would try to literally doom scroll to relax, and everything in my feed was literally telling me, girl, get up. Girl, stop procrastinating. Here's what business people are doing. I was motivated and encouraged to actually do better. So you do the same thing. Number 3. Embrace discomfort. Oh, Lord. Embrace discomfort. In fact, like I needed to register in your head that comfort is actually dangerous and discomfort is a signal that you're doing something right. I don't know why, but I guess I've always thought, at some point things would become better by some miracle, and I would have ease. And in my mind, when I imagined a good life, I just imagined a life just being like really super comfortable, right? And because of that, right, when I tried to sort of change my life, it felt so uncomfortable. Like I tried to go to the gym and I hated it. I'm like, what the heck? I tried to actually, get the good grades, and it meant like I can't sleep. I have to work hard, right? I tried to start a business and I realized, oh my God, I need to figure things out. Like it just felt so uncomfortable. And at first I thought the comfort meant I'm doing something wrong. The comfort means this is not right. This is not for me. I was not made for this. But somewhere in the middle of it all, it began to click. And the minute it clicked, I started to hear it everywhere. Like your comfort zone is the danger zone. Like the minute you are comfortable, the minute you feel yourself like really relaxed, and like the things that come easily to you are usually the things that like you probably should be moving out of that. You probably should be. You need to be uncomfortable in order to be growing. Like when something is growing, it is stretched, it is moved. Like, so you as a person, if you are literally embarking on a journey of change, especially something as big as changing your whole life, it's easy to throw this word around that like, I'm going to change my life. I'm changing my life. Do you understand how big that is? Change is uncomfortable. It hurts. You're going to have to work hard. You're going to have to do things that don't feel good. You have to learn new things. You're going to be stretched. That is uncomfortable. And the minute you feel yourself starting to feel comfortable, then you know that you've slowed down. You know you've probably stopped growing. And when you feel discomfort, just lean into it. Like, I think I've gotten to the point now where I'm just like, I am so comfortable with discomfort that like, I always worry when I feel myself too relaxed, which is becoming a problem. But the thing is, I know for a fact that like that's how I got here. I now understand that when something is stretching me, when something feels hard, when something just doesn't feel desirable to me, it usually means there's growth taking place. It usually means I have entered into rooms where, probably it's really is out of my league. I'm doing things that I've never done before. I am trying things that probably I've never even seen being tried before. And that is uncomfortable. And it's usually things like imposter syndrome. It's things like, failing a couple of times. Do you actually know that success is really just failing forward over and over again? People don't understand how many times you have to fail before you succeed. I think what people always see is like the glorified moment, like, wow, you're doing so well. Like, wow, you made it. But a lot of the times, 9 times out of 10, and I'm telling you this because I've experienced it, at the end of every single congratulations, the suffering I would have suffered, like, I don't even hear it anymore. Like, by the time it gets to the finish line, I'm just like, I hear you, but like, what I went through, how many times I had to try again, how many times I had to force myself to show up, how many times I had to cry and still show up. Like, success is just a bunch of failures. It's continuous failures that you kept failing forward. Yes, it didn't work out, but then what do we try next? Okay, this didn't work, but like, what does it mean? How can I use this experience to carry me forward? So you just have to keep failing and fail forward. And that's uncomfortable, right? You are going to keep getting things wrong, but you getting things wrong is how you learn and eventually get to the right. That is discomfort. That is growth. You don't experience that when you're comfortable. You don't experience that when everything is mellow and it feels good. So again, if you want to change your life, embrace discomfort. Number 5, forget the big moments. They're not coming. They don't mean anything even when they do come. What matters is the everyday, small, tiny little habits. I think a lot of people don't realize that, your life is actually not made out of big moments. Your life is made out of months, and your months are made out of weeks, and your weeks are made out of days, and your days are made out of hours, right? What that means is that until you start to realize the gravity and importance of like a single hour in your day, like, or even just one day. I think a lot of us, we undermine like how important a single day is, which is why it's so easy to just procrastinate today. I'll do that tomorrow, right? And you procrastinate the whole week and it's like, so what? And you just keep saying like, I'll do it tomorrow. I'll come back again next week. You keep pushing and bumping things up. Like you keep messing up and you feel like, it's just one day. It's just one time. And you don't realize that that's actually, those things are accumulating. And what you'll end up with is a very messed up life. Because you're going to keep having messy days. And your messy days are going to be messy weeks. messy weeks turn into a messy life altogether. So realize that your small habits, like the little things that you do, matter. Like your days are big days. Like every day is a big day because that day contributes to your entire life. So instead of rather focusing on these like really big milestone moments, maybe the day you graduate or the day you decide to finally open the business, rather focus on the small moments leading up to that. Focus on the small habits leading up to that. Again, a book that really goes really well into this is Atomic Habits. I feel like this book at this point is like treated like a Bible because who has not read it? And like what in that book is not truth? Like it is literally so good. If you have not read it, I beg, please do. But what Atomic Habits clearly communicates is exactly this, which is that like the small little things are what you should be paying attention to instead of the big moments. So everyone's always focused on like that big thing. You're waiting for that big day where you're gonna feel, I've made it. But no, like rather focus on the small things. And you focusing on the small things and the everyday habits is you actually dialing down on the process. Focus on the process and not the results. And focus on the systems and not necessarily the goal itself. So focus on the habits and the little things instead of the big moments, because that's what matters. Number 6, and last but definitely not least, is that everything starts with your belief. And your belief, like I think everything you do, if you look at exactly why, if you study why you do it, is because you believed something before that. And the thing is that like as human beings, like we naturally are designed to not contradict our beliefs. And the sad thing about most of us is that we don't even know what we believe. We're not aware of what we believe. And therefore, we're not realizing sometimes that our limiting beliefs are the reason why we are held back. So I think if you want to change your life in 2026, first audit your beliefs. I remember with myself, what like really, really allowed me to embark on this journey was when I started to believe that God wanted good things for me. Because before that, I didn't realize it, but I genuinely believed that God wanted me to suffer. And not even in like that he was punishing me kind of way, but I believed that, I'm a Christian, and I somehow adopted the belief that people who were poor were holy and rich people were evil. I don't know where it comes from, but like I know that a lot of us, especially who come from very humble beginnings, like that's just a belief that we all commonly share. I think we demonize successful and rich people as a defense mechanism. And we sort of like, we're proud of our poverty, right? We're like, oh yeah, I may be poor, but I'm a good person, right? And we make rich people seem like these very evil people. So because I had that in my mind, I genuinely believed that God wanted me to be poor so that I would stay humble and I would stay with a good heart. I believed that if I were to have money and be rich, I would be evil. And this is something that I was not conscious of. And because obviously I believed that, I was self-sabotaging. Like I remember I wanted to be a teacher, and my biggest dream was to own a house. I just wanted a house. That's all I wanted. I wanted a house, even if it wasn't a house in Soweto, as long as it was just a nice house. That's what I wanted for myself, because like that's for me felt like humble enough. Like I wouldn't be rich and evil. And every time I thought about like getting rich or having money, it just felt like such an evil thing to do, right? And a lot of us, you may be saying to yourself that like, I want to be successful, but deep down you believe that successful people are evil. Naturally, your actions will be against trying to get you to be successful and rich. And this is something that applies to so many things, like even with school, right? Like I remember I I used to genuinely believe that I was average. Like, that's one thing I'd always say about myself. Like, I'm just an average person. My grades are average. Like, I am average, right? And I don't know why I believed that, but like, I genuinely believed it. And because of that, like, I sort of wouldn't allow myself to over excel. Like, it didn't make sense to me. Like, I wouldn't actually do everything it would take. Like, I would work hard for a little bit and then almost tell myself, oh, girl, you're doing too much, and pull back because of the belief that I had. And a lot of us have these beliefs, these like limiting beliefs in our minds that we don't even realize, but they're affecting how we actually show up. They're affecting what it is that we do and don't do. And literally, like, everything stems from your belief. If you believe right, then it's so easy for you to do right. Like, naturally you do right because you believe right. So audit your beliefs. Like, really think about what is a truth that you don't realize that you actually have internalized. Like, what is it in your mind? And this, all it takes is just some self introspection. And that's just journal. Like, ask yourself, like, what do I believe about money? And when you ask yourself, what do I believe about money? Answer it honestly. Just start writing honestly. Like, in your mind, what do you think about money? What is the first thing? What were you raised to believe? What did you hear? And you'll see yourself write down some crazy, ridiculous stuff. Like genuinely, like, I didn't realize this, but like, I actually genuinely believe this about this thing. What do I believe about success? What do I believe about entrepreneurship? I used to think entrepreneurs were just people who were zamazaming. Genuinely. That's what I believed entrepreneurship to be. And although when I started to learn otherwise, I told myself, like, yeah, I wanted to become an entrepreneur. But a part of me was also very shy about it and skeptical because of this limiting belief that I had, that in my mind, an entrepreneur was just someone who was just trying to hustle, someone who had no options, someone who couldn't get into corporate and they couldn't find that legitimate job, so they're just trying their luck in something else. Because I believed that about entrepreneurship, I genuinely was not working hard to become an entrepreneur because I have this limiting belief about it. So until I fixed what I believed entrepreneurship to be, only then was I able to then fully embrace that role and go after that journey. And another thing and most important thing is that, like, if you believe that you can't do something, if you believe that something is impossible for you, then you definitely, genuinely cannot do it. And for me personally, it is only when I started to sort of learn the character of God, when I learned just how powerful the blood of Jesus is, that it applied everywhere, even in my studies, even in business, even in school. And like, it wasn't until I genuinely believed that I felt nothing could stop me, that I could have everything. Like, I genuinely believe that, listen, the Great One lives inside of me. And he walks with me, he talks with me. So therefore, why can't I succeed in this? Only when I internalized and believed that was I able to then, like, even go after ambitious things, like attempt difficult things and do all of these big and beautiful big things that I was able to achieve because of the belief that I had. So you audit your belief, and I would highly recommend you believe in Jesus as well, because there is no higher power than him. And if you get to a point where, like, literally your faith is so strong and it's rooted in God, oh my God, you're unstoppable. So yeah, that is it. 6 truths that I believed that got me to completely transform my life. I hope that you heard me. I hope you were taking down some notes, and I hope you'll actually take the time to deeply introspect and internalize these truths so that 2026 is the year that you change your life. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. See you in the next one.